Hello, everybody. Welcome to the next game in the 1987 American Replay. We're at the next to last game on May the 11th, coming to you from Cleveland Municipal Stadium. It'll be the Texas Rangers taking on the Cleveland Indians, probably the two worst pitching staffs in the league. So we're looking for a lot of runs today. It's game number 210 on the replay. Cleveland Stadium, singles are 1 to 11 for lefties and righties. Home runs 1 to 8 for lefties, 1 to 11 for righties. Phil Niekro on the mound for the Indians. He's 1-3. Mike Mason is 0-4, a left-hander for Texas. So, like I said, don't be surprised if you see a lot of runs. So we got the game up on the Strat computer to score it as we play it. Complete numbers on Niekro. He is 1-3 with a 5.87 earned run average. He had a 6.10 earned run average real world, so he's actually doing slightly better. 38 innings pitched, 40 hits, 24 walks, 17 strikeouts. So Phil Niekro and his knuckleball. We'll see if he can't befuddle the Texas Rangers. And leading off for Texas will be Oddibe McDowell, the center fielder. McDowell struggling on the replay, hitting a .182 in 55 at bats. Homer and 4 driven in. He had 400 bats real world, so got plenty of time to, get that average back to where it should be. We're underway. 6-6 left-handed, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. So the very first play, we got a shortstop X, and that's trouble because Corey Snyder at shortstop, Franco the DH. Snyder is a 4E48, so that's trouble right off the bat. 4-18, though, he'll get to that. So he got a very good roll there, but the E48, he still can't escape from that E48. E48, we got 6, 12, 15, 3, 16, and 18. So we're right here where the pen tip is. And that is a total of 8. So E48, there is no 8 there. E44, there's an 8, but not E48. So actually, Corey Snyder makes the play. So it wasn't pretty, but he got McDowell out. And that's the way this ball game starts. 6-3 ground out. One away for Scott Fletcher, the shortstop. Fletcher on the replay is hitting .281. No homer, 17 driven in. He had .287 real world. That's a 4-11 for Niekro. It's a ground ball pitcher X. Right back to Niekro. He's a 3E0. So we know he's not going to make an error. We're just going to see if he's going to get to it or not. 3 and a 15, he will get to it, and that's going to be out number 2. So 2 X chances, but the dice have been in the favor of the Indians to make those plays. Here's Ruben Sierra. He used to have the home run lead until Jesse Barfield took it away. He's hitting .282, 11 homers, 24 driven in, but Barfield has 12 on the replay. He hit .263 real world. 6-5, switch hitter batting left is a line out right to Corey Snyder. And that's going to do it for Texas. They come away empty-handed here in the top of the first. So we go to the bottom of the first. It is Texas nothing and Cleveland coming to bat, and a very mediocre Mike Mason coming out to pitch. He is 0-4 on the replay. He was 0-2 real world with a 5.59 earned run average. On the replay, he is 0-4 rather with a 14.14 earned run average. Some of these losses were coming in relief, but now he's making a start. And not too good. 14 innings pitched, 28 hits, 16 walks, 16 strikeouts, and 5 home runs in 14 innings. So really, really struggling. So I expect Cleveland and their offense to tee off on Mr. Mason, but stranger things have happened. Here's Brett Butler. He's hitting .400 on the replay and just 45 at bats. He does not have enough at bats to be in the league leaders right now because he was injured for quite a bit of April. But he's hitting .400, no homers, no driven in. Hit .295 real world. Lefty on lefty matchup, 6-8. It's a 1-11 single. Anything else he lines to third, that's a single for Brett Butler. And Butler will be looking to get the lead. It's a +3 when you combine the catcher Petrali +2 and the +1 for Mason. So if he gets the lead, it'd be a +3. So that you'd be talking about a 1-16. So they're going to try it. 2 through 8 or a 12. And that's a 3, so he gets the lead. He's stolen 5 bases so far. He's going for stolen base number 6. 15 being held as a 13, but the +3 is a 16. And he's in there just right on the number. Stolen base, and boy, the second baseman, Jerry Brown, is arguing with the umpire about that, but to no avail. They're saying Butler got in there. That is his sixth stolen base of the season. So Butler is at second with nobody out for Julio Franco. Franco hitting 307, 2 homers, 15 driven in. He hit 319 real world. Mason trying to get out of it, but you can see his card is a mess. 6-5, but he does get a fly out to left in this occasion, so that's one away. But he would be better served to have everything go off the batter cards. And speaking of struggling, here's Joe Carter. He's definitely been struggling. He's hitting 173 on the replay, 3 homers, 5 driven in. He had 264 real world. So he's got to get this thing turned around, and Mike Mason's the kind of pitcher he can do it against. 5-9, and that's going to be a walk. That'll put runners at first and second with one out for Pat Tabler, the first baseman. Tabler hitting 373, 4 homers, 18 driven in. He hit 307 real world. Mason to Tabler. Rangers looking for that double play. 6-2, they won't get it. They'll get another walk as these rolls come off of Mason's card, which is not good for Mason. Single and 2 walks. Load the bases with one out for Brooke Jacoby. Jacoby hitting 361 on the replay, 4 homers, 20 driven in. He hit 300 real world. Mason needs to have something come off Jacoby's card for a change. And again, it's off Mason's card. 5-5 is another walk. 3 straight walks, all off of Mason's card. Butler will score. Everybody else will move up a base. Bases remain loaded, but that's 3 walks in a row issued by Mike Mason. And now on the replay, Mason, in 14 innings, he has walked 19 batters. He only walked 22 real world in 29 innings. So he's definitely not in control right now. Here's Carmen Castillo. He is in right field for this one. Hitting 281, 2 homers, 5 driven in. He hit 250 real world. Mason would love to have something off of Castillo's card for a change. And it is 2-5, and that's another walk. Wouldn't you know it? The dice notes seem to know what's going on. That's another walk. That is 4 consecutive walks issued by Mike Mason. And Bobby Valentine is just livid. There's no defense for this, so he really doesn't want to go to the bullpen this early, obviously. Here's Corey Snyder. Snyder hitting 236, 4 homers, 13 driven in, and he hit 236 real world. So he's right on pace. That's a 5-4, and it's a ground ball third base X. Buechele has a chance. They could get a double play if they get a decent D20 roll. He is a 2. 2 and a 9. Not sure if that's going to be enough. Find out on a third baseman. A 2 and a 9 is only a G2, so it's going to be a second base play. The run's going to score. He is a E15. 13, 15, 16, and 18. And that's a 5. So it's a G2 rare play with the bases loaded. So we go to G2. G2 rare play. Batter lines a shot that deflects us. Why they do that, I have no idea. Now this is saying he makes the play at first for the out. Runners advanced at fourth. So in this case, I guess because it lined off the pitcher, that it's not going to be a force play. The only play he's going to have is at first base. So we're going to change this around to we're going to call it a 1 to 5 to 3, as Buechele's only play was to first base. Tabler will score to make it 3-0 Cleveland. Jacoby will go to third, and Castillo will go to second. So second and third with 2 outs. And we'll get this in the Strat computer all filled out. All right, and that's going to bring up Tony Bernazard. Second baseman Bernazard is hitting 270, 4 homers, 16 driven in. He at 250 real world. Mason trying to minimize the damage of just 3 runs. That's a 5-10. Switch hitter batting right-handed. 5-10 is a ballpark single check Would have been a strikeout, but it's a 5-10. It's a ballpark single check. 1 to an 11th. That's a 5. It's a base hit. And another run scores. It's now 4-0 Cleveland. Stopping at third is Castillo. And Mike Mason just having all sorts of difficulties. Here's Chris Bando, the 9th man to bat in the inning, hitting .216, a homer and 8 driven in. He at .218 real world. Mason may not last past this inning. It's 5-4, switch hitter batting right-handed. That's another ground ball, third base exit. We're going to give Buechele another chance. He's a 2. 2 and a 6. Should get to it, though. At least get it out somewhere. 2 and a 6. They weren't holding anybody on, or he wasn't responsible for holding anybody on, so it's a G2. And again, we're over here on the E15, 13, 15, 16, and 18. And that's a good play. So Buechele makes the play. And that's going to finally end the inning, but a 4-score Abraham Lincoln inning. Hello, Ernest. 4-score Abraham Lincoln inning for Cleveland as they jump out to a 4-0 lead on Mike Mason and the Rangers. And this is what I was afraid of. But, you got to play them as they lie, as they say. This is on the schedule, so can't just bypass it because you think it's going to be a bad game. So. All right, here's Niekro. He's got a 4-0 lead to work with. He's got Pete Incaviglia at the plate. Incaviglia hitting .208, 4 homers, 14 driven in at .271 real world. That's a 5-7, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. So again, Corey Snyder, a 4E48, living dangerously over there. 4-20, though, he gets a good roll. All right, check that E48. That is a 9. I think he's going to be okay with that. E48, and there's no 9, so that's two X chances that Corey Snyder has had as a 4E48, and he's handled them both because he's gotten positive rolls, where Texas did not get positive rolls for their situations. It's just the way the dice roll sometimes. Here's Pete O'Brien, first baseman. He is hitting .347, 7 homers, 21 driven in, hit .286 real world. Up didn't need that because nobody's on base. Niekro to O'Brien, 110, and that's a 1 home run. Anything else is a 20. So O'Brien does get a double. That's the first hit for the Rangers in the ball game. Cleveland only has 2 hits, but they had 4 walks issued to them, so that was responsible for those 2 runs. Here's Larry Parrish, the designated hitter, and he's hitting .255, 5 homers, 14 driven in. He hit .268 real world. 5-6, and that's a fly ball to right field. 2 down. And that'll send up Gino Petralli, the catcher. Petralli, limited duty, as he split time at catcher with several other catchers. In just 34 at bats, he is hitting .324, no homers, 7 driven in. He hit .302 real world. O'Brien at third, 2 down, clutch situation. 3-5, and that's a walk. So Petralli will keep the inning going. Turn it over to Buechele. 1 long ball, and Texas is right back in this game. Buechele on the replay, hitting .224, 3 homers, 12 driven in. He hit .237 real world. Buechele, 5-11, and that's a fly ball left field X. Could be problematic. Carter is a 2E14. The 2 is okay, but the E14 is a little high. 2 and a 13, he'll get to it. The E14 is where there might be problems. So checking the outfield. Hello, Colin. Checking the outfield. That is a 13, and he is an E14 in left field. So a 13 and E14 and a 13. There's a 12 and a 14, but there's no 13. So Joe Carter escapes again. Indians escape again with another positive roll to prevent an error, and that's going to end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the second. 4-0 Tribe. Mason is going to come back out, but I don't know how long he can manage. He faced all 9 batters in the first inning, walking 4 of them, giving up 2 hits and 4 runs. But bullpen activity for the Rangers, and we'll look and see who their long guy is. Looks like Mike Lloyd is in the bullpen. He's their long relief. He's the guy that eats innings for him. So Mike Loyne loosening in the Texas bullpen. This is Brett Butler. He singled, stole a base, and scored the first time up. 3-7, and that's another walk. That is walk number 5, issued by Mike Basin. Butler, again, going to try to get the lead to steal. Needs a 2 through 8 or a 12. That's a 5. He gets the steal opportunity. 15, being held as a 13. The +3 is a 16. And he's in there. Stolen, his second stolen base in as many innings for Butler. So he steals second. He's on base for Franco. Leo Franco flew out to left his first chance. 2-5, and he's going to hit a ground ball shortstop A. A good thing the stolen base, that took away the double play. It will freeze Butler at second base, but without the stolen base, that would have been a double play. But just the one out, and here's Joe Carter. Carter walked his first chance. That's a 5-7, and that's a ground ball to third base C. So a very interesting. I don't usually see this kind of numbers on the printed cards. This is on the computer card. Ground ball third base C. So it's going to be fielded by Buechele, but Butler will still take third base on the ground ball to third. So ground up third. Butler does go to third with 2 outs. And here's Pat Tabler. Hello, Colin. Hello, Michael. Good to see both of you. Yeah, the crown thing I could do without. I don't know I don't think there's any way to. I think it's a YouTube thing. I don't think I have control over that. I would delete them if I could. All right, so here's Tabler. He walked his first time up as well. That's a 3-5 left-handed, and that's a 1-18 single. 19-20 he lines out. That is the single, and that will score Butler. It is now 5-0 Cleveland. So Mason unable to get away unscathed. The leadoff walk comes back to bite him again. He's walked 5 batters. 4 of those 5 have scored. Here's Jacoby. 6-6, and that's another walk for Mason. This is getting out of hand. All these walks. They want to get Mason through the inning so they can bring in Loyne next inning, but they may not be able to wait that long. Might have to bring in Loyne right now. 3-6 against the lefty, and that's a strikeout, and that's going to end the inning. That's going to do it for Mason. They can't go any further with him. He finally got a strikeout, though. But he's going to go 2 innings, give up 5 runs, all earned, on just 3 hits I've got him for. But he does walk 6 and strike out 1. So Mike Loyne will take over for Texas, and he'll be in charge of eating some innings. Well, Mike Loyne. Loyne's a +7. Not that the Cleveland's going to run anymore now that they're up so big, but put it down there anyway. So Mike Mason goes bye-bye. He's set to go 0-5 now, unless Texas makes a tremendous rally. So Niekro back out, enjoying a 5-0 lead. And here's Jerry Brown, the governor. Yeah, if you could tell me how, Colin, to get rid of those things, I would definitely be interested, because I would like to get rid of those things. I don't like them. I don't understand them, and I don't even want to deal with them. All right, here's Jerry Brown. He's hitting .308, a homer, 7 driven inning at .271 real world. 6-11, switch hitter batting left. That's a ballpark blast. And switch hitter 1-8. That's a 12, though, so it will be a fly to right. He had weak power anyway. Wouldn't have had a home run regardless, but it's a deep fly to right field. Warning track power, 1 away, and here comes Oddibe McDowell. 4-6 is a walk. Niekro issues his second walk. Down 5-0. McDowell's not going to try anything. They will hold him, but he's not going to go. That's a 1 chance of a wild pitch or a pass ball. Well, actually, a wild pitch. And Niekro's wild pitch rating's a 15. It's an 18, so Bando is able to block it. Block the knuckleball. So Fletcher will hit. 3-6, and that's a 1-4 home run. 5-20 is a double. That's a 3, so Scott Fletcher goes deep. Wow. First home run of the season for Fletcher. He had 5 real world. This is his first home run. There it is. He's got weak power, so the only way he gets home runs is on his card. And that 3-6 looks like to be the only one against right-handers is that 3-6. That might be his only one, period. I don't see any homers against lefties at all. So all of his home runs must have come against right-handed pitching. But 1-4 on the 3-6 roll gives him a home run, and that's a 3. So a 2-run home run off the bat of Scott Fletcher cuts the lead to 5-2. And again, that's the first home run of the season for Fletcher. RBIs 18 and 19 on the season. It's a 5-2 ball game. Here's Ruben Sierra. 6-6 with chitter batting left. As a ground ball shortstop extra going right back to Snyder again. This is his third X chance at a 4E48. He's handled the first 2. 16, he gets another positive roll, so he'll get to that. E48. E48 and a 9. I can tell you that is a good roll. E48 and a 9 for a shortstop is good. E48, there's no 9 there. And a 16 and a 4, in case you're curious, to be official. 4 and a 16 is a G2, but nobody's on base, so just a regular old ground out. So Corey Snyder has had 3 X chances, and he's handled them all. And as a 4E48, that's pretty unusual. But there's 2 away for Pete Incaviglia. That's a 3-3 for Incaviglia, and he's going to ground it to Snyder. This time, no X chance, just a regular old ground out to end the inning. But Texas does put 2 on the board and cut the lead to 5-2. And now Mike Loynd, the new pitcher for the Rangers. As Bobby Valentine saw as much of Mike Mason as he wanted to, probably more than what he wanted to. So couldn't go any further with him. So let's go to the computer, bring in Mike Loynd, and get his season stats up to the minute in this replay. Mike Loynd. Loynd on the replay is 2-1 with no saves, a 6.35 earned run average. He had a 6.10 in real world. 23 innings pitched, 28 hits, 8 walks, and 18 strikeouts. Hello, Chuck. Good to see you. Pitch to Snyder, 4-6, and that's yet another walk. This one by Loynd. It's the 7th walk issued by Texas pitching. Only 3 hits allowed, but they've issued 7 walks. And here is Tony Bernazard. Loynd to Bernazard. 4-11, switch hitter batting left is a fly ball left field X. That's Incaviglia. He's a 4E16. That's trouble too. 4-17, though, he'll get to it. Now the E16 is the problem. E16 and an 11 for a left fielder. See if he falters on this. E16, there's a 12 and a 13, but there's no 11. So good play for Incaviglia. Much like Corey Snyder, he danced around that, but did make the play. 1 down for Chris Bando. It's a 2-7 for Bando, and that's going to be a strikeout. First strikeout for Loynd. 2 down, and back to the top of the order for Butler. He is singled and walked, stole 2 bases, and scored 2 runs. About the best you can ask of a leadoff man. But those were against Mason. Let's see what he does against Loynd. 3-8, and that's going to be a single to left field. There's a clutch there, but the runner is not in scoring position, so the clutch has no effect. It's just a single to left. And with the ball hit to left field, Snyder will stop at second base. So first and second, 2 down for Julio Franco, the designated hitter. He's 0 for 2, amazingly, all this offense. 5-6, and he's not 0 for 2 anymore. 1-13 is a double. That's a 9. It'll be a double 2 stars. So that will score another run. Butler will stop at third base. Coming in to score is Snyder. It's now 6-2 Cleveland on the RBI double from Julio Franco. Here's Joe Carter. Second and third, 2 outs. First base is open, but Carter's been struggling so much, they're going to pitch to him. 411. Ground ball pitcher X. That's going right back to Loin. He's an E38. He's a 3 E38, so this could be problems. 3 and 20 is good, but that E38 is sticking out like a sore thumb. So let's see here. E38 for a pitcher. There's a lot of numbers here. 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, and 18. So, boy, you're going to really have to dodge these to not make an error. That's a 12. E38, and there's a 12 right there. One base error. It's a one base error on Loin, and that will score another run. It's an unearned run this time, but still counts all the same. Butler scores. Franco takes third base. And now Cleveland leads at 7-2. And here's Pat Tabler. This is my fears being realized right here, because anytime you had Mike Mason in Texas facing a high-powered Cleveland offense, I was afraid it would be a blowout like this. 2-8, and that's a single to left field for Pat Tabler. That will score another run. 3 runs in the inning. Carter will go ahead and stop at second. But now it is 8-2. And here's Brooke Jacoby. So Loin not faring much better. 6-9, and that's a ground ball to second to finally end the inning. But 3 runs come in for Cleveland, and after 3 innings of play, they lead at 8-2. They are pummeling the Texas Rangers. They are definitely doing that. All right, so the ground out to second mercifully ends the inning. And we start at the top of the 4th. Hello, Jester. Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a long time. I'll have to come back and look at that column when the game's over and see if I can figure out how to get rid of these things. So, all right. So Phil Niekro will be facing Pete O'Brien. It is an 8-2 ball game after 3 innings as Cleveland's just laying waste to Texas. 1-8 for O'Brien is a ground ball to second. Bernazard fields it 1 away. That'll bring up Larry Parrish. 5-6, and that's a fly ball to right field. 2 down. And here's Petrali. 1-12, and that's a foul out to Bando. So a 1-2-3 inning for Phil Niekro. And Cleveland's right back in the dugout, ready to get more runs on the board. There is no 10-run mercy rule like there was in Little League. So as many runs as they get, that's what we're going to play it as. This is no mercy. Here's Mike Loin back out. He gave up 3 runs in his first inning of pitching. They were hoping he would eat some innings, but he may have to go after this inning. I'm not sure. There's Castillo, 1-8, and that's a strikeout. Second strikeout for Loin. Corey Snyder has grounded out and walked. 3-11, and that's a ballpark single. 1-11, that's a 4. It's a base hit for Corey Snyder. Hit number 7 for Cleveland to go with their 8 runs. Snyder will not be held. Here's Bernazard. 3-9, and that's a ground ball first base A, so they get a double play. 3-6-3, and actually put a 0 on the board. That's a victory in itself. We go to the 5th inning. It is still 8-2. So Loin will come out and pitch another inning. He'll try to eat 3 innings if he can. Niekro has a fatigue of 6, so he's got another inning after this one before he has to worry about fatigue. And he'll be facing Buechele, Brown, and McDowell. see something here. Options. Select the crown symbol. Okay. Where does it say to turn them off? Trying to figure out. I hit the crown symbol, but it's not giving me a thing to turn it off. I'm on my laptop. Or do I have to wait until the stream is over? Maybe I can't do it while it's streaming. I don't know. Well, the crown thing just says, just give me who the top fans are, whatever that means. But I'm hitting the little 3 dots. And it's giving me participants, moderation, activity, timestamps, reactions. Maybe I can take off reactions. Would that be? I don't know if that would help or not. I don't know. I really don't. So I'll have to mess with it later. Gonna have to mess with it later, apparently. All right, here is Bouchel. Game. I don't want this game to go on longer than it has to. 6-8 because of the blowout. 6-8's a walk, so Bouchel will draw the walk. So a 1-out walk, or leadoff walk rather. Just so we need more walks. Really don't need any more walks. We've had this. That's the 10th walk of the ball game combined, and we're just in the fifth. Just started the 5th inning. So Bouchel is on. Here's Jerry Brown. 1-8 for Brown. That's a 1-6 double. That's a 2. It's a double, 2 stars. So Bouchel has to stop at third base. But second and third, nobody out. Rangers trying to make a game of this. Infield is back with the big lead. Here's McDowell. 6-3 is a ground ball pitcher X. Niekro is a 3-0. 3-18. So that ought to be interesting. 3-18 for a pitcher is a G1. All right, so second and third. Infield is back on a G1. Second and third. Infield normal says runner advance. So runner advance says batters out, all runners advance 1 base. So that's pretty self-explanatory. So the out for McDowell is going to go 1-3. Niekro throwing to first. Bouchel will score. It's an RBI ground out for McDowell. And going to third is Jerry Brown. So it cuts the lead to 8-3 for what it's worth. 1 away now for Scott Fletcher. He had a 2-run home run his last time up, his first home run of the season. 6-10, and that is a ballpark blast. Of course, he has weak power, so even if that's successful, it will not be a home run. The ballpark blast for a right-hander is 1-11. That's a 12. It'll be a fly ball to left, but it's going to be a sacrifice fly because it's so deep. And so a sacrifice fly off the bat of Scott Fletcher cuts the lead to 8-4. But now the bases are empty with 2 outs for Ruben Sierra. 5-10, switch hitter batting left is a strikeout to end the inning. And for Niekro, that is his first strikeout of the game. Took him 5 innings to get it. He's not exactly fooling Texas. He's pitched 5 innings, given up 4 runs, but his team has put up 8, so it makes him seem like he's pitching a better game than he really is. So here's Mike Loyne, his 3rd inning of work. Let's see what he can do, as he will be facing Chris Bando, the number 9 hitter. Bando's 0 for 2. 5-3, switch hitter batting left is a fly ball right field X. Boy, 5-4 would have been a home run. 5-3 is a right field X. That's Sierra. He's a 2E12. 2 and a 6. That's interesting. I think it's going to be close. I think he'll get it, though. 2 and a 6 is an F2. He did get to it. Right fielder is E12, Sierra. He's got to avoid 3, 4, and then 13, 14, 16, and 18. And that's a 12. So he did barely avoid it. E12, there is no 12. There's a 13, but no 12. So Sierra Makes a not so easy catch. 1 away. Here's Butler. 2-8 for Butler, and that's another single. He's reached base in 5 innings. He's reached base 4 times. 3 via the single and 1 via the walk. So it's the 8th hit for Cleveland. Butler has 3 of them. And Loin with that +7 hold, you know they're going to try to steal. So to get the jump, 2 through 8 or a 12. That's a 7. He gets the jump. 15 being held as a 13, but the +5 makes it an 18. And Petrali, T rating is only a 3, so they'll throw down. And he steals it. So 3rd stolen base of the game for Brett Butler. Brett Butler with doing what Brett Butler does. Get on base and steal. Here's Franco. 1 out and Butler at second. 1-6 for Franco, and Butler's going to score. That's a 7, which is a single 2 stars. And so Butler will score his 4th run of the game. It is now 9-4. Favor of the Tribe. Franco, he has a chance to steal. 2 through 5. Cannot get the jump, so he will hold. Here's Joe Carter. 6-9 is a ground ball, second base C, so the runner's going to advance. Franco will go to second base on the ground out. 2 down. Runner in scoring position for Pat Tabler. Two, chance for a balk or a pass ball. That's a chance of a balk. We'll check Loin's balk rating. Loin's balk rating, according to the computer, is a 0. He's a 12 wild pitch and a 0 balk. So no balk. No balk is going to be recorded. So Tabler will swing away. 5-9, and that is a strikeout for Loin. That's his 3rd strikeout. So he's going to go 3 innings. Give up 3 runs. Not sure. They might pitch him. Might try to. Actually, no, Cleveland did get a run there, didn't they? My bad. Give up 4 runs in 3 innings because Cleveland did get a run there. So it is 9-4, and that's going to be it for Loin. He's going to go 3 innings, and he's going to give up 6 hits, 4 runs, and I believe they were all earned. There were no errors, so they were all earned. Let's see, he walked the first batter he faced, but he did not walk anybody else. No, actually, there was an unearned run there, so it's 3 were earned. Only 3 were earned because of the E1. He walked 1, struck out 3. And Texas will have to figure out who they're going to bring in to pitch the rest of the game, or at least try to eat the last 3 innings if they can. And they're going to go to Greg Harris. He's got length, so they're going to see if he can't pitch the last 3 innings and save their bullpen. All right. So we go to the top of the 6th, and this is the fatigue inning for Niekro. So Pete Incaviglia is 0 for 2. He's grounded to short twice. 3-8, and this time he'll draw a base on ball. So I'm sorry, looking at 6-8. 3-8 is going to be a strikeout. So Niekro with the 2nd strikeout. 1 away. And that'll bring up O'Brien. 4-7, left-handed. That's a fly to left. Hauled in out there by Joe Carter. 2 down. Last game in this May 11th game, block will be from Detroit. It'll be California against the Tigers. And then after that, we'll move on to the May 12th block. But got to finish this one, and then maybe tomorrow do the other one. Here's Parrish. That's a 6-6, and that's going to be a strikeout. Niekro's got a dot there, but he's not tired, as he hasn't given up anything, so he's going to keep pitching into the 7th. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Still a 9-4 ball game. And the new pitcher for Texas is right-hander Greg Harris. So we'll get the numbers on Harris on the replay. He's got a rating of 3 in relief, so they're looking to get some innings out of him. They don't really want to go with Greg Loynd any further. So Harris, he did a little bit of everything for Texas. He was a starter, he was a closer, and middle reliever, kind of did everything during the season. But at this point in the replay, he's 0-1 with a save, a 4.13 earned run average, 24 innings pitched, 22 hits, 11 walks, and 16 strikeouts. And here is the first pitch to Jacoby, 4-8, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. We're looking at Fletcher. He's a 3-E26. 3-1, that's a base hit, E26. And a 7 should be okay with that, I would think. We'll double check it. E26 and a 7. Yep, no error, but it will be a base hit for Jacoby. That is the 10th hit for Cleveland. Jacoby will not be held. And here is Carmen Castillo. Harris to Castillo. It's a 4-6, and that's another walk. Just what we needed, more walks. This game probably has set the season high in walks, and we're just in the 6th inning. All right, here's Corey Snyder. 2-1, nobody out. That's a 2, so chance for a balk or pass ball. Pass ball chance on Petrali is an 18. So it gets past him, it'll be a pass ball, and the runners will move up. No double play chance now. And the infield will come in for Texas against Corey Snyder. That's a 3-7, and that's a strikeout. Big strikeout there. 1 down. The infield's still going to stay in for Tony Bernazard. Bernazard 1 for 3. 2-11, and that's a ballpark single check. It's 1-11, but that's a 16, so he's going to line it to second. 2 down, so Harris has a chance to get out of this by simply getting Chris Bando. Bando 0 for 3 in the game. 5-8, switch hitter batting left is a fly to right, and that's going to do it. So Greg Harris gets out of the mess. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out, and he gets out of it. So we go to the 7th, and the score remains 9-4. Niekro has full endurance entering the 7th. He gave up nothing in the 6th, so he's still good to go. It'll be Petrali, Buechele, and Brown, bottom portion of the order. 4-5. Petrali's a switcher to batting left. That's a fly to center. There's a dot there, but again, he's not tired yet. So 1 away, and that flips the order over well, not flips the order over, but it sends us to Buechele. Buechele is 0 for 1 with a walk. 3-9, and he's going to strike out. 4th strikeout for Niekro. 2 down for Jerry Brown, the governor. 2-10, and that's a fly to center field. That's going to end the inning. So Niekro will keep full endurance into the 8th inning. Got that knuckleball working as he retires Brown on a fly to center. So nothing doing for the Rangers. We now go to the bottom of the 7th. It'll be the top of the order. Butler, Franco, and Carter due up for the Tribe. They lead it by the score of 9-4. But of course, we are at the 7th inning stretch. So it is time for Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Okay, we are back. Back for the... Hey, Justin, good to see you. I just went down and checked on Tabby while the 7th inning stretch was running. She's resting quietly on the couch, so she's very happy. And we'll move on to the bottom of the 7th. Cleveland large and in charge, 9-4. Here's Butler. He is 3 for 3, 4 runs scored, 3 stolen bases. Not much more you can ask of a leadoff hitter than that. 4-7. Ground ball, second base X. We're looking at Brown. He's a 3E16. 3 and a 10. He'll get to it. I do believe. I'll double check it. 3 and a 10 is a G2. And he's an E16. So he has to avoid 3 and then 15 through 18. And he does. So it's good play for Jerry Brown. They finally retire Brett Butler. 1 away. And that will send up Julio Franco, the DH. He is 2 for 4. Harris, 3-9, and that is a split chance. 1-7 is a single. That's a 3. That's a base hit. 3rd hit of the game for Franco. Harris is a -1 hold. +1 from Petrali makes that a +1. But Franco's still going to try to get the lead with that 19 sitting there. Pretty tempting. But he can't get the lead. As a 1, he might be picked off. He's a 13. His safe range is 13. 1-13, he gets back. 14 or higher, he's picked off. He is picked off by Greg Harris. So they pick off Franco. Got too big of a lead. Couldn't get back. That's out number 2. And that's how that steal mechanic works. When you roll a 1, you check for the secondary lead, and it's got to be in that range to get back safely. Here's Joe Carter. All right, Ernest, have a good day. 4-10. Ballpark blast. It's 1-8 for a, 1-11 for a right-hander. That's an 8. It's gone. Joe Carter, a home run, makes it a 10-4 good buddy game. Get your CBs out for Joe Carter. That is home run. Well, let's do this first. Wait a minute. What the heck happened here? Let me fix my computer. I gave somebody an extra. Something on the computer didn't work out. So let me rewind this. Put the pickoff on. I didn't do the pickoff on the computer. That was the problem. Okay, now Carter hits the home run. And for Carter, that is home run number 4, RBI number 6. So he's really been struggling to only have 4 home runs and 6 RBIs into May. You know he is struggling. But it's a 10-4 good buddy game. 2 down for Pat Tabler. Tabler is 2 for 3. 5-7, and he's going to be 3 for 4 now. 1-6 is a double, 7 is a single. So it will be a base hit for Pat Tabler. And for the Tribe, that is hit number 13 to go along with all those walks. Here's Jacoby. 6-7, and that's a ground ball, second base X. Again, that is Brown. Nobody's being held. He's a 3. 3 and a 6. That's interesting, iffy. 3 and a 6 is a G3 pound, but nobody was being held, so he gets away with it. He's 16 again, 15 through 18. Got to avoid that, and he does. So it's good play for Jerry Brown in the inning. But the home run from Joe Carter makes it a 10-4 Cleveland lead. And the knuckleballer, Phil Niekro, since he reached his fatigue inning, he has retired 6 in a row. So he's going to stay out there. No reason not to. Got a 6-run lead. If he gets into trouble, he's got plenty of breathing room. So it'll be Niekro facing the top of the order, McDowell, Fletcher, and Sierra. McDowell is 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. 6-9 against Niekro. That's a single to right field. It's a base hit for McDowell. For Texas, that's only their 4th hit of the game. He will not be held, will not go anywhere, not based on the score. So here's Fletcher. 3-7 for Fletcher, struck him out. Strikeout number 5 for Niekro. 1 away for Ruben Sierra. So 4-7, switch hitter batting left. That's a fly ball to left field. Joe Carter puts it away, 2 down. And that'll send up Pete Incaviglia. That is a 4-9, and that is a 1-5 triple. Anything else is a double. That's going to be a double for Incaviglia. McDowell will score without a throw, as that was hit to center field. 0 arm. He's a 17, not being held makes him an 18. 2 outs makes him a 20, so it's a guaranteed score. And it's now a 10-5 ball game on the RBI double from Pete Incaviglia. And this is going to probably be it for Niekro. They'll have to have somebody else pitch the 9th, but they want to get Niekro through the inning. Pete O'Brien, your batter. 4-4, and that's a ground ball third base section. Jacoby, 4E25. 4-6. I think that's going to get through for a hit, most likely. And it does. SI1 won't score the run. It'll move the runner to third. And then we're checking for an error. Jacoby's an E25. He's got to avoid 6, 8, 13, 15, and 17. Oh, that one didn't go through the list. Let's redo this again. And that's 12. So I think he's okay with that. Let's see. E25. There's a 13, but there's no 12. So it's good. He does not make the error. It's just going to be a single by Pete O'Brien. Runners at the corners. Now, Niekro is officially tired. He has reached fatigue. But again, they're going to let him try to finish out the inning if possible. Still got a 10-5 lead. Here's Larry Parrish. 6-8, and that's a walk. And that's going to load the bases. And now they may not be able to let him continue, because one long ball and it's a 10-9 game. So looks like the Tribe going to the bullpen. And that's going to be it for Niekro. They tried to get him through that inning, but they just couldn't do it. And so they will turn to right-handed reliever. Let's see who's got the most rest. Or if anybody needs to rest, I should say. According to the computer, the only one that I've overused, well, I haven't overused anybody because, well, Camacho's kind of been overused, so I won't use him. Let's see, Rich. All of them kind of been used more than they should have been, but we'll go with Ed Vandenberg, a left-hander. Vandenberg is going to come on and pitch for Cleveland, and we'll get the numbers on Niekro after the inning's over. We'll finish out his numbers. But Vandenberg is going to come on. It's actually a save situation because the tying run is on deck. So it is technically a save situation. If Vandenberg gets out of this and then completes the 9th, he would qualify for a save. 7 2/3 there. So let's bring in Vandenberg from the bullpen. He's got a record of 2-1 with a save, but a high ERA of 10.22. 12 innings pitched, 22 hits, 7 walks, 7 strikeouts. His ERA in real world was 5.10, but in the replay, his ERA is 10.22, so he has not done well. He's going to be facing the switch-hitting catcher, Gino Petralli, a 302 hitter, so you're not going to pinch hit for him. So it will be Petralli turning around and batting right-handed against Vandenberg. But Petralli only had 7% against left-handers, so I think Texas is actually going to make a move to the bench, because with that left-hander, it really neutralizes Petralli. So we're going to go to we're going to go to the pinch hitter, and it's going to be Bob Brower. And coming in to catch will be Don Slaught in the 9th. Or in the 8th, rather. So Bob Brower is going to pinch hit for Petralli here in the 8th inning. and then Slot will catch in the bottom of the 8th. So it's actually an important at bat, as it turns out. 10-5 game, but the bases are loaded, and Brower has a chance to make something happen against Vandenberg. So we'll bring Brower in on the computer, get his numbers on the replay. Brower on the replay is hitting 262, a homer and 10 driven in. He hit 261 real world, so he's right on his numbers. Vandenberg facing Brower. 3-9 for Brower. It's a 1-17 single. That's a base hit. Run's going to score. That's going to be charged to Niekro. And now Niekro is going to have a very mediocre outing. He still can qualify for the win, but his stats aren't going to look good. RBI single for Brower. It's now a 10-6 game. The tying run is now at the plate in Steve Buechele. Buechele definitely has power against lefties. So they got to be careful here. It's 10-6, but the bases are loaded with 2 outs. Vandenberg trying to get out of this. 5-6, and a ground ball shortstop expert is Corey Snyder. Now he's escaped several E chances and X chances and come away unscathed, but how long can that go? 4-5, his luck just ran out. 4-5 is going to be a base hit, probably 2 stars. 4-5, not just a single 1 star. So it's a single 1 star, but now you got to check the error. He's an E48, and you got all these numbers down here: 3, 6, 12, 15, 16, and 18. That is a total of 13, but there is no error on the 13, just a single 1 star. So the inning continues. Scoring is O'Brien. It's now a 10-7 game. Base is still loaded for Jerry Brown. And Vandenberg running into issues. Going to face a switch hitter, Jerry Brown. 10-7 now. 3 runs have come in for Texas. 3-7 against the left-hander is a 1-6 single, but that's a 10. He lines it to short, and the inning is over. But 3 runs come in for Texas. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. The score is now 10-7. And, of course, the new catcher for Texas will be Don Slot. And back out for his 3rd inning of work is Greg Harris. He's given up 1 run in 2 innings of pitching. He's going to be facing Castillo, Snyder, and Bernazard. Might get a defensive replacement for Snyder if they have anybody who can play shortstop. Only one they have is Franco, but they could take him and put him at shortstop and just lose the DH. So they could do that in the 9th inning. So that's probably what they're going to do. All right, here's Castillo. That is a 5-10 right-handed. Ground ball third base X. That is Buechele. He's a 2E15. 2-17, he'll get to it. E15. And that's a 9. Should be okay. E15 and a 9 for a third baseman is a good play. So Buechele takes care of Castillo. Here's Snyder. That's a 6-7, and that's a ground ball second base X. So now we're checking Jerry Brown. He's a 3E16. 3-19 is good. Checking E16. E16 and 11. E16, there is no 11, so it's good play for Jerry Brown. So 2 X chances handled by both the infielders, third and second base, and 2 quick outs. And that'll bring up Tony Bernazard. 6-11, switch hitter, ballpark single check, 1-11. That's a 17, so he's going to line it to second. And Greg Harris is going to go 3 innings in relief, giving up just the 1 run. So he did his job. And now we go to the 9th. in a 10-7 game. I don't think Vandenberg's coming back. He got knocked around pretty good out there. So the Tribe will have to pick somebody else to try to get the save. They really overused Camacho, so I don't know if there's anybody else out there that they feel comfortable with getting a save, but we'll find out on the computer. Who else got saves for them? Scott Bales had 6 saves, so they're going to go with Scott Bales. He was in the starting rotation. He's been pulled from that. Carlton will go into the starting rotation, and Bales is now back to the bullpen. So Scott Bales is going to come on and try to save this thing for the Tribe. Scott Bales, -4, plus was a -3. Let's see, Vandenberg only went a third of an inning. Pretty bad. Third of an inning. Let's see. I think he came in and faced Jerry Brown, if I'm not mistaken. No, it wasn't there. He faced him over here. So let me get the numbers on. Justin, I look at the Strat computer and also look at Retro Sheet, Baseball Reference, some of those places, and find out when these pitchers that do both relieving and starting make their next start. And I saw where Bales does not have a start for a very long time, but I do see that Steve Carlton will actually start the next game on May the 12th. So that's how I was able to make that particular adjustment. Go to the information so I can get the final numbers on both Vandenberg and Niekro. Niekro goes 7 2/3, 6 hits, 7 runs, all earned. Walks 4, strikes out 5. Still qualifies for the win. Third inning, 2 hits and nothing for Vandenberg. All right, so Bales going to be facing the top of the order in the 9th. McDowell, Fletcher, and Sierra. 10-7 ball game here in the 9th inning. Cleveland once led this game by the score of 8-2, and they also led it by 10-4. So 3 runs in the 8th have closed the gap. Bales 1-8, and that's going to be a fly to right field, 1 away. Oh, sorry, wrong side there. Should be up here. 1 away. Bales on the replay, 2-2, no saves, a 6.67 earned run average, 27 innings pitched, 36 hits, 11 walks, 15 strikeouts. He had 6 saves in real world, so he's going for his first save of the season. And he'll be facing Fletcher now. 3-11 against the lefty is a ballpark single. It's a 1-11. That's a 6 base hit for Fletcher. One more base runner brings the tying run to the plate. Here's Ruben Sierra. Switch hitter now batting right-handed. Sierra, amazingly, is 0 for 4 in this game. 5-9 right-handed is a fly to left, so he's 0 for 5. All this offense, and Sierra, one of the better hitters on the Rangers, is 0 for 5 with a strikeout. That's definitely a little bit of an anomaly. 2 down, it's up to Pete Incaviglia to keep it going. Bales to Incaviglia. 3-8, and he struck him out to end the ball game. So Cleveland hangs on and wins by the score of 10-7. Scott Bales will get the save. The win goes to Niekro. Mason takes the loss. He drops to 0-5. Niekro improves to 2-3. Bales his first save. He goes 1 inning, gives up a hit, nothing else, and gets a strikeout. Greg Harris. Well, we'll go to the computer and get all these numbers so we can make it official. Let's go to the box score. Greg Harris, on the 3 innings that he was able to pitch, he's going to go give up 4 hits, a run, which was earned, a walk, and a strikeout. Now, the next game, Lloyd and Harris will both be unavailable, so the other guys in the bullpen will be well rested. But next game, Lloyd and Harris will not be available for Texas. So whoever the starter is in the next game needs to eat some innings because they're not going to have these 2 guys in the next game. So the final line score for Cleveland rather, 10 runs, 13 hits, and no errors. For Texas, 7 runs, 9 hits, and 1 error. Cleveland improves to 14 and 17. Texas drops to 12 and 16. And the final game, well, if we give a player of the game, who do we give the player of the game to? Franco was 3 for 5. Tabler was 3 for 4. So you figure it's got to be an offensive player. It can't be a position player. Tabler, let's see, 3 for 4, 2 runs driven in. So it's a little bit of everybody. Kind of hard to pick one, actually. But in the final game of the block on May 11th will be California and Detroit. It'll be Mike Witt against Walt Terrell. That'll be from Tiger Stadium. And that probably be tomorrow, I'm guessing. Standings now up to date as of this game. Texas drops to 12 and 16. They're now 5.5 games behind Oakland. Cleveland with the win goes to 14 and 17. They pulled 7 games behind the Milwaukee Brewers. But Detroit and California, that's going to be the next game for tomorrow. Game number 211, final game of May 11th. It's Walt Terrell against Mike Witt. That'll be the matchup from Tiger Stadium. So I do appreciate all you guys spending part of your lunch hour with me or whatever you guys are doing. I saw Uncle Ron was not going to stream today at lunch, so I figured it's a good time to sneak it in. Don't forget RJL will start his Inside Pitch 1999 season tonight at 8 o'clock. That'll be opening day. I'm not sure if I'm going to do anything after that or before that. The rest of the day, I'm not sure. We'll figure it out. But that's going to do it. And I'm going to try to figure out how to get these stupid crown things off of here, too. But that's going to do it from here, from Cleveland. The Tribe hold on and win it by the score of 10-7 over the Rangers. So I do appreciate all you guys that stopped by and spent part of your Monday afternoon with me, or morning if you're on the West Coast. Ended up being a closer game than I thought. It was blowout had a blowout written all over it, but then finally Texas came back a little bit. So Colin, thanks for the heads up on the crowns. I'm going to try to figure that stuff out for the next time and see if I can prevent that from even showing up to begin with when I start the stream. Maybe you got to do it when you first start the stream. I'm not sure, but I'll figure it out somehow or another. And that's going to do it from here. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.